Welcome back, everybody, to Kusog7ande, the bad video game tournament, and I'm glad that y'all are enjoying Passport.mid. Very important MIDI file that we had back in the day. By the way, I figured out how to make MIDIs work using Windows Forms, and I actually just need to finish working on a project because I might slip something like this into that. Oh, one of these days I'll finish a project, but oftentimes I like to just ding around with stuff because I like learning. Well, this tournament, we are still very early on. It is anyone's game to make it into the bracket. Generally, 32 people make it into the bracket, and based off of the points that they have during the group stage, they may be able to get there. Of course, if they come in fourth on the first round, it's a little bit harder to get in, but it may be doable. Ooh, I should put an auto-playing MIDI on Kusog7ande. I should. Carol Z, that is a really good idea. Well, you know what? Thank you, everybody who played in the last match. Now, let's go and find out what we've got coming up here. There's Blue Proto Man. Okay. Well, everybody, say hello to your worst nightmares. It is our GM, Jeff XVX. Jeff, I want to talk to you. Oh, yeah, Blasphemous Roar, you are not our worst nightmares. We've got Jeff here. He's gonna help us out a little bit. I think Jeff's a little bit shy. Let me go ahead and poke him. Jeff, come join voice. If you're around, are you here?
Thank you for having me while we wait for Jeff.
You're not Jeff, but hello, Roar. Are you okay? Are you doing good?
Yeah, I'm just Jeff with a sore throat.
Jeff with a sore throat. Hey, Jeff with a sore throat. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Okay?
I'm just here to give complete trash.
I'm just here to give trash. Oh, okay.
But
Jeff.
It's trash that I love because I'm Jeff and I give I give the amazingly bad games.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, Jeff. Wait.
How are you?
Jeff, you're in the wrong place. Why did you go there? Oh my gosh, let me drag Jeff.
Hi, I'm. Oh no, wait, no, the real Jeff's here. Run!
Oh God. Hello.
Jeff.
Yes.
Everybody invaded until you showed up, and then they got scared and ran away.
Oh, good. I'm glad to see my reputation precedes me.
Well, no, I had to drag you into the right voice channel.
Oh, yeah, I'm not good with these computer things.
Well, that's okay. No, you're a big fat liar. Come on, I've seen you actually make you've done mods for video games. You've done pretty amazing stuff. And not only that, you are really good at finding older computer stuff.
I am good at finding stuff. I'll give me that. Actually, this one, I didn't have to dig too deep in the barrel for this one. This game actually has a couple of folks that speedrun it.
Really? Well, that's a little bit surprising. So it still is obscure. I personally don't think I've seen this game. What do we have?
It's called Huang, and it is an unlicensed game for the NES Famicom.
Huang for the NES Famicom. That's right, everybody. We love bootlegs on our channel, and honestly, whenever I get the chance to see one, I get excited. I'll go ahead and work on capturing our players so that we have the game up. I don't know if two of them are streaming quite yet, so I'll have to go and bother them and see if they are. But yeah, Huang. Wait, this isn't the one with the good emote that we have, is it?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, because I think that's a different one. Okay, let me see. So yes, we have 4 players playing Huang. What genre is this game?
This is a platformer, but it has an interesting mechanic that you'll see when we get into it.
The platformer? Okay. Wait.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm confused. I only see 3 people in the chat there. Did we have somebody drop out for this match?
Yes, and so we will have Corndan as a zombie.
Ah! Zombie Corndan! Ah! Always terrifying, but, you know, that's how it goes.
Corndan was gracious enough to vet this game for me, and so he's already a little bit familiar with it.
Well, that's perfect. I know that Corndan has been a little bit busy where he lives. Apparently today they have been doing some Independence Day stuff because they celebrate it more on the day that the Declaration of Independence was read out loud in the town over there. So it's cool. Although I don't know if today is the actual day or not, but they're celebrating it today, so there you go.
Well, the more celebrations, the better.
Yeah. Good. Well, let me go ahead. I need to do a quick update on my end so that everything is here. Blah. Yeah, Jeff, what have you been up to since the last Kusog7ande?
Well, I have been, in addition to replenishing my stock of bad games, I have also been learning game development.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I've been doing some stuff in Unity. I don't expect anything I'm going to be making for a Kusog7ande tournament, but you know, I'm interested in doing story-based adventure games.
Okay, that's kind of fun. Story-based adventure games. I love some of those. I love writing dialogue personally. It's one of my favorite things to write. And I feel like adventure games, that's one of the best places to get some of that.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to get a chance to do some good writing on this.
Yeah, good. I would say that if you need a little bit, depending on how I'm feeling, I might be able to do a little bit. But at the same time, if it's your passion project and you've got some really good story ideas, then best of luck with that. That'll be really cool to see. I just love when people here make their own games, and adventure games, they're so, oh my gosh, they went out of vogue for a little while. And by a little while, I mean like for 20 years, except for Monkey Island.
Well, I am looking forward to Monkey Island coming back.
Yes.
There have been some great tweets from Ron Gilbert about the game coming out, and looks like scheduled for some time later this year.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. That's going to be amazing. So it looks like all of the players are streaming. I'm going to go ahead and work on getting them all captured. I do know that there were some issues with fans who were like, I don't like the art. But you know what? You're not making the game. So too bad. You don't get to choose. Yeah. And if you're going to complain, I'm going to come and steal all your monkeys. There's nothing you can do about it. You don't want me stealing your monkeys, do you?
I don't want my apes to get hacked, no.
I'll hack your apes. What is this music? Ah, yes, Pitfall: The Mayan Adventures. I actually really like that game, despite its flaws. Okay. Anyways, I think I have all of the players captured, and now let's just go ahead and hear the sound and see what it's like. I'm really happy, Jeff. I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that you've got this little passion project you're working on. It's very exciting for me.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I previously had done a lot of NES mods specifically for Super Mario Brothers, but also a couple of other things. And so it's, retro stuff has been my passion, and it's taking a little bit of getting used to, modern software, because I don't really know how to use computers. So,
Jeff, I think you're gonna get the hang of it really quickly. Like, I've got faith in you.
Well, thank you.
Honestly, like, considering how janky getting any stuff to work can be. If you can do that, then you can do anything with modern stuff. I've got the faith. And it looks like 3 out of 4 of our players are ready. Corndan is being our zombie in the top left, and Corndan is here in voice. The zombie essentially means that we had to swap somebody out, usually last minute because they had an emergency, and our zombie doesn't count for the match, but they're here to show what's up. Are you ready, Corndan?
Yeah. Honestly, it wouldn't be fair anyway. I played this.
Oh, you've played this?
I have. It's real good. I actually really enjoy it.
Oh, I'm excited then. Well, everybody get all of your anime dragon emotes and spam them?
Sure.
What else? What else would be good? Guys with
Doesn't
hats?
matter.
Hats. I like hats.
So there is actually a translation patch available for this now. I didn't give it to them. I'm never really sure whether things like that are going to break the game, but the intro basically gave the background lore, which is that Huang, known as the Yellow Emperor or Yellow Lord, that's apparently what Huang translates to.
Okay.
Somebody named Chiyu rebelled against the Yellow Emperor, and then the Red Emperor informed the Yellow Emperor, I must take care of Chiyu at once.
Okay.
I don't know what any of that really means, but it seems to be based on some type of Chinese literature or folklore. So, you know, that could probably be...
That's one thing that I really love about unlicensed games. A lot of them did have to deal with stories that, you know, weren't really told. You know, most of the Western media that came out, they looked at a little bit skeptically. Sometimes they were completely banned in countries, and I know that China had a lot of video game bans back in the NES era, and because of that, you know, people wanted to have games because they knew they existed, and so, you know, oftentimes companies would go and make their own games that dealt with their own stories, and now we finally have some of these artifacts that we can go back and see and play, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I do too. Particularly, that's why I give a lot of games from different parts of the world. But it's great to see how different cultures have made have used this media to tell stories, and to tell stories that may be familiar in other parts of the world, but not so much to Western audiences. I mean, Journey to the West is something that a lot of folks in the retro community know about just because of video games.
Yeah, I've played a few Journey to the West games. I used to speedrun Monkey King. I guess, like, I'm still a fairly good player at that, and that one, you know, it's jank, but it is so cute at the same time. Like, and overall, I think that it's a very enjoyable game. Just because it's janky doesn't mean that it's unfun. And yeah, it looks like this game has oh my gosh, look at Corndan's boss. This is so cool.
It does have a lot of really cool boss fights, and Corndan has the right tech here, which is using those little balls that spin around you, and then getting as close as you can to the head.
Yeah.
I don't know if Percentia mentioned this, but just to let everybody know, there's a little bit of flashing after each boss is defeated.
Yeah, let me go ahead and put that into our idle for Kusog7ande right now. Yeah, which usually if there's a little bit of flashing on one screen, it's not a big deal, but there can be times when everybody clears a boss at the same time, and then you might be in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, fortunately, it's pretty brief flashing in this game. So the interesting mechanic in this that you might have already noticed is that instead of just jumping like you do in most games, you can basically fly. You can jump an infinite amount of times. And that puts a really interesting spin on platformers, and the way this game is designed, you can basically skip over entire levels if you want. And that's something that's...
The pickups.
but then you miss the pickups. So the people that speedrun this generally fly over the levels. They know exactly where the pickups are that they need, so they're able to get that. The players, playing this for the first time don't know that. So,
Oh yeah. That's completely, exploring a little bit, especially if pickups are important, would help. I have to wonder, how many times will they be, are there continues in this game?
There are not. There are only 6 stages, though, and the stages are divided into several parts each, and each one ends with the boss. It does have a little bit gory graphics when you defeat one of the bosses. The head on a sword, and there's going to be some people that are a little bloodied up, but nothing too out of the ordinary for an unlicensed game like this.
Oh yeah. So it'll be important for players to at least have an idea for how difficult these various areas are, if they are able to hold on to lives. I think that getting an early game over could possibly be helpful, unless the game is easy enough that you can avoid getting game over at all. But I assume we're going to see
kind of pick up on what's.
Yeah, I don't see a timer here, so you're not exactly rushing to get through the stages.
Right, so you'll see that there are some pots, and each of those pots has a different item in them. For example, a heart, which is your health. And
the dragon!
Yes.
I love it.
Corndan knows the strap.
That was great. I love it. So, yeah, for those who are watching, Corndan is one of the staff here at Kusog7ande. He put in all of the effort to get the emulators set up and running this tournament, and also does a lot to help people make sure that everything works for them. Corndan is a huge, important part of the community here, and he is also our zombie, just essentially replacing a player who couldn't show up so that we have 4 streams. The funny thing about having a zombie is that almost every time when we do, even though they don't count towards how the other players do when it comes to rankings, it's so much easier to play when there's no stress on you.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I've done that, in Kusog7ande, if I am competing, I lose, and if there's no stress in how I'm doing, I do really good. It's the curse.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And in addition to the stress issue, which can, the anxiety can make things a little bit different, when you're actually doing it in a race, you might want to use different strategies than you normally would.
So, as it turns out, the Yellow Emperor is considered a deity over in China, one of the legendary Chinese sovereigns, one of the cultural heroes, and apparently the traditional dates are about, between 2600, 2500 BC that he reigned over in China. So, this is going to very old history here, this game. But honestly, I think that there were also some issues in media with depicting deities from China, in that, it's a little bit sensitive when you're depicting any sort of respected figure. And a lot of the times, people might consider it a little taboo. But bootlegs often did do that. I would call this not necessarily a bootleg, maybe more unlicensed per se, because all the assets seem original here. But yeah, whenever it comes to unlicensed games, they can often get away with depicting some of the stories more. And you know what? People who hear these stories, they want media that deals with it, And it's very exciting that we have this cultural artifact.
Yeah, I talked to somebody once who's Iranian, and when Prince of Persia came out, he was very excited to hear that Western developers had made a game that was about Persia, Iran, and he got it and played it, and it turned out that all of the art and the stories are Arabian or Arabic. Art.
Okay, so not quite correct.
Not quite right. So he set
Okay.
about making his own version, the Iranian or the Persian Prince of Persia.
Ooh.
And it was called Alibaba, and that was one of the games I recovered from obscurity a couple years ago. It's unfortunately a little bit too short to have on Kusog7ande. It only lasts about 5 minutes. It was a homebrew I developed, but
If you ever have a time where you have a handful of games that are a little bit shorter, it's fine for us to have like 3 games.
it's also not a bad game.
Oh, okay.
It's actually very well made.
Okay, well, there's that too. I mean, we've had quote-unquote good games on Kusog7ande before.
True.
But yeah, like if it's well made and not super weird, then it probably doesn't belong here. But I'd still like to see it sometime, Jeff.
Absolutely. I convinced somebody to do a speed run of it, so there should be one up on YouTube if you want to take a look at that. The game's called Alibaba.
Alibaba.
And it's for DOS.
Okay,
but yeah, this was
Alibaba
my-
for DOS. If you do happen to have a link to the game itself, it looks like there are some people in chat who might be interested in checking it out. Feel free to share it with them. Oh no, the bunny! No, that's not a bunny. The person... She is not doing great. Look at that art, though.
Well, are you talking about the one I just beat up?
Yeah.
Yeah, not doing so great.
Well, I mean, considering that you're a deity beating people up, yeah, that's not so nice. Or are you? Or are you going to fight the deity?
Oh.
Oh. I don't know who you are in this game.
The speed run is from our very own Mooware.
Oh, I love Mooware. Mooware was on Don't Make Us Bored this week. He came and played, what was it, Crazy Climber.
Yep.
Specifically the Wii version of that, and did a very good job. Actually, I think beat all except for one level within the time that he was playing. Did a lot better than he even expected, so that was really cool. Derby Ghost is fighting Cucumber Man. Okay.
It was interesting that Crazy Climber actually got released on a lot of different systems.
Oh, yeah. I actually like the original versions better than the Wii version. Big surprise. Oh, it's a bamboo shoot. It's a little too tall for a bamboo shoot. It might be just full-on bamboo.
So I appreciate that so far the strategy for most of the bosses and mini bosses is like get in their face and then just unlock them.
Yeah. I mean, that awards aggressive gameplay, which I can always be behind. Are you killing a fox with 9-tail fox?
Nope.
Well, that's... No! What did he ever do to you? Oh my gosh. I'm very upset.
So,
Well,
yeah,
whatever. Corndan just killed nature.
Part of the trick, though, is you need to make sure you have enough health going into these boss fights. Because, yeah, I think I agree with Corndan. That's the most effective way to do them. But if you only go in with 1 health, that's going to be a real difficult strat.
Just to make sure, the health, that's the number of hearts that you have, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And then above that, that's your life counter?
Yes.
Okay. What's at the bottom left, then?
Your
That's-
special.
It's like your
Special
sub-weapon.
ability?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
It's that
The balls that
the-
fly around you?
yeah.
Yeah, the orbs.
So you have 4 different ones that you can use and
But why
select.
would you
choose.
use anything but the orb?
Why would you? Because you've never played the game before and you don't know what they do.
Okay, that's
Honestly, it looks like
That's
pretty
fine.
much all of the players are using the orbs pretty extensively. By the way, Derby Ghost is going through these doors. Is this a door maze that people have had to go through? In the
It's not a
cave?
maze.
Oh.
not really.
Well, why were there 2 doors at the end?
Because it does put you in different areas. I just took the top one.
Okay, so it's not very much of a maze. I like this head popping out of the walls that you have to kill. I really wonder, like, what the whole story of everything is.
I don't know too much of the details beyond what they tell you in the opening. There is some text in between the levels, and the opening for each level tells you the name of the boss that you're going to fight. So, for example, the first one is called Thunder Beast. Like I
Okay.
said, there is an English translation patch available, but I didn't see a full run using the English translation patch, so I didn't get a chance to see what all of the text is.
I have a little bit of the story here. I'm doing some searching around on the internet. You can find this information over on Hardcore Gaming 101. They specifically say Battle of Zulu was the second battle in Chinese history as recorded in the records of the Grand Historian, fought between the Yellow Emperor Huang and Qi Yu. The battle was fought in Zuolu, near the present-day border of Hebei and Liaoning. According to Chinese mythological account Shan Hai Jing, Qi Yu, with the giants, Gurios and evil spirits rebelled against Huang Di at Zulu Plains. Both sides used magical powers, but Qi Yu had the advantage of forged swords and halberds. Using his powers, Qi Yu covered the battlefield in thick fog. Only with the help of a magical compass chariot could Huang Di's troops find their way through the mist. He also used his daughter Nuba, the drought demon, to harm Qi Yu's troops. Later on, Qi Yu suffered more defeats and was captured. Only Ying Long, the winged dragon, being a brave servant of the Yellow Emperor Huang Di, dared to slay him. Qi Yu's chains were transformed into oak trees, while Ying Long was cursed to remain on Earth forever.
Yeah, so we're playing as Huang Di in this game, the Yellow
Okay.
Emperor.
So we are sort of on the side of, like, the mythological powers here.
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Although apparently this mythological power can die if it gets touched by things.
Well, I mean, the difference between, I feel like Christians got a little pompous, okay? Because they're like, oh, yeah, you know what? Everybody else, you have all these deities that, you know, can be defeated in battle and stuff. How about we make ours immortal? And how about omnipotent? We're just gonna use Omni everywhere. Oh no! Poor Dad, did you just cut that jaguar in half?
Sure did.
I mean, as soon as you start saying that somebody is, like, unbeatable, nobody can beat you. You win. You win every time. Doesn't matter. But yeah. Old school deities, you know, were often more of a mythological characters. A lot of them did have flaws despite having great power. So even though Huang Di is sort of a deity in this story, it makes sense that he wouldn't necessarily be immortal or omnipotent. You know, there have to be battles fought.
Yeah, I mean, he's not omnipotent without a cheat code.
Yeah, Christians invented the cheat code. Okay, you're cheating. You can't just make you can't just say omnipotent. Okay, seriously, they did IDDQD. Bam, Christianity. Here we go, everybody.
So we've actually been seeing quite a bit of progress by these players. So I've been impressed since there aren't any continues. You know, I'm always a little worried that people are going to get discouraged or frustrated if they're not making a lot of progress and have to keep restarting. But you know, since they're able to get through these levels pretty quickly once they know them, we're getting to see some of the later stages already. Particularly on, I mean, obviously Corndan's been pretty far on this now.
I mean, I have never been this far before.
Oh, all right. We're breaking new ground here.
I made it to the caves before when I played it for you. And then that's it.
These
And in
mushrooms.
some ways, I'm actually making more progress than I thought I would because I keep accidentally using my sub weapons.
You have a lot of health there.
So here's the thing, like if you have more than 9 health, it actually counts it. It just doesn't.
It doesn't
Okay, it
appear on the
doesn't
screen.
show it, but if you take a hit,
It just shows
the
9.
number doesn't. Okay,
Just
so
doesn't
it's.
put out.
I would guess that it probably goes up to 250, maybe 256, maybe, probably more. I don't know. I don't know. I can't see behind the scenes.
A lot of times
look,
the
it's a
reason that
troll.
happens is that they use binary coded decimals to display the number of lives, which is differently stored than the actual number of lives. So that makes some sense why they didn't put the extra effort into it happening that way.
Yeah.
In case anybody doesn't know what that means, instead of encoding the number of lives as a binary, you just encode it as 01, 02, 03.
Yeah.
And that represents the actual number that you'll see on the screen. So if you want to say 10, it takes 2 bytes. You do a 0, 1, and then a 0, 0. And so if they only allocate 1
that's
byte
pretty
to
reasonable.
it, then that's what you're going to say.
And that's fine. Honestly, you don't really need to display above 9 hearts. This guy, oh my gosh, he got sick. He's vomiting everywhere, Corndan. It looks like Derby Ghost is fighting the teleporting fox, as is Digital Basic. If I'm not mistaken, Kerma7 is a little bit behind the other players. Corndan is just doing well because 1, he is a zombie, and 2, he's already played this game. So.
And it is the sort of like weird jank that I totally get along with.
I love old school platforming jank, okay? That is like my life. I mean, I used to speedrun Bible Adventures, so it's just unlicensed, give it to me. Just inject it into my veins, everybody.
This one actually is pretty fun as far as unlicensed
really
jank
like
goes.
Yeah,
And
like
pretty competently made.
I've played a lot of really boring, unofficial stuff, and this, like, there's actually level design, there's boss design, there's mechanics that you don't see in other games. Like, look at Digital Basic screen and all of the movement with the pixels. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's very impressive for an unlicensed game. To be clear, this is not a good game, though, right? Like, the way it controls is not ideal, and this mechanic about being able to basically fly through every level is a little bit problematic from a gameplay perspective.
By problematic, is then it makes it a little too easy, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Okay.
some of those. The only reason you'd need to go through some of these levels
Rico's
is
got the combos. Yeah, bounce the dog, or bounce the leopard, bounce the leopard. You're gonna do it. I've got faith. Bounce, 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 bounce. Kitty cat, I love you. You're so dead, though.
Oh, poor kitty cat.
I guess the song is Pussycat, I love you, but whatever.
So there are only 6 levels in this game. Corndan might end up beating it.
Well,
I mean, if I can
Corndan
make it
doesn't
through
count, so that's fine. Oh, the skeletons, they're cute.
But Derby Ghost is pretty close as well. I wasn't really sure, I don't know any of these players, and since it's round 1, I figured I'd give them something a little bit on the easier side. The speed runs of this game are around 11 minutes, but since there are no continues, I wasn't expecting people to get quite this far so early on.
Yeah, just so you know, everybody, Digital Basic is currently in the lead when it comes to the Players Derby Ghost in second, and Kerma in third. Kerma has been having a very hard time making any progress here. You know, there are some games that work for some people and just don't work for others, and it's really difficult to know before you actually play a game if this is going to be a game that jives with you. The important thing, though, when it comes to a sort of the blind match that we have here is learning how to make consistent progress, even if it means going a little bit slower. You know, go a little bit slow, take your time, be patient, and eventually you will make some progress here. Also, like, learning how to stack up on health so that you can have a lot going into the boss. I think all of the players are learning that lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diddle Basic against the troll that doesn't really do anything except point occasionally. Just like, hey there. Justin, by the way, showed up and was acting like the troll, just pointing with his finger. Me.
I'm glad Justin's able to catch a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Don't show him the parts with all the animals dying, though. You might not like that.
No, like, if it was a snow leopard, he'd probably be completely fine with that. It was a leopard of some sort, so I don't imagine he would be too sad. Yeah, other people in chat are saying that this almost looks like a good game. I would say that probably, like, for the area where this came out, for what it was, like, it's a cultural artifact, you know? It's got issues with controls and possibly just, like, in putting a flying mechanic in a game, in a platformer, makes it feel a little bit overpowered. But at the same time, I kind of like the ambitiousness of that design choice. You know, they're like, you're a deity. You know? You're playing as a deity who can fly.
Yeah.
You should be able to fly. Corn
I think so.
Oh my gosh. That is a beautiful... I love all of these screens. You win? Yeah!
Good job, Corndan.
Good job, Corndan. Of course, everybody, Corndan doesn't count because he is just subbing in for a player who wasn't able to be here. However, you matter in our hearts, Corndan. Look at this beautiful end scene as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it up.
I love it.
So, Corndan,
Okay.
Oh, that flashing's a little weird. Oh, I guess you can't leave it up.
Too
Well,
bad.
I mean, Corndan, having now finished this game, I imagine you'd agree this is not the worst thing you've ever played. But what were some of the
I
flaws
actually
in it?
really like it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely love the balance between trying to find, like, where, like, I think it makes a good speed run, right, in a way, because, like, trying to find that balance between where the pickups are that you need, right, and the speed and safety of just, like, I'm gonna fly over everything, right, and so there's definitely a lot of ways for safety if you play, like, once you get in, like, the spiral, like, attack mode, like, you're invincible during that. So it's almost like, you know, jumping and then doing that is like doing the screw attack in Metroid. Like, you're basic. And so there's a lot of ways to really cheese that, right?
Yeah.
Kind of get where you want to go, right? Which I really like. The controls are not great. Best way I can. That it's very easy to accidentally engage your sub-weapon, right? Because you want to do the spiraling attack, right? You got to jump up and then hit attack. But if you hit them both at the same time, you hit your sub-weapon.
Okay, so you have to alternate jump and attack in order to keep doing your attacks in the air.
You have to make it very clearly separate, right?
Yeah.
And that's difficult.
Hey, Derby Ghost is actually getting really close to the final boss here. Derby Ghost is in the lead for these 3 players now. Now, I would say that if we do have 2 players complete the game, we can go ahead and tell our 3rd player that they can go ahead and quit playing, because we would have a very clear order for the players. But if they would like to complete the game as well, just for bragging rights, that is fine as well. Although Kerma is having a lot of difficulties with this game.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I mean, I can understand why that would be, right? Like, it's definitely something I think, right? I did better at this, like, helped by the fact that I've played a bunch of bootlegs before,
Yes.
right? And so that feel of, okay, I have to make sure I hit this button, then this button, like, in that particular order, and it's only gonna poll at, like, certain delays, right? You know, for whatever you want, is kind of holds up a lot in bootleg games, so it doesn't, you know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like, so, like, going into that, like, even having only played this for a little bit beforehand, right? But even going into it that first time, like, it feels like, okay, I can deal with that, right? Because I know how that goes.
There we
If you
go.
didn't- and
Digital
you're
Basic
trying-
through the boss, moving on to the final stage.
If you're going into this expecting something like that handles, controls, and everything like a standard Nintendo game, you might have a bad time.
Yeah. Honestly, the best way to prepare for something like this is just to play various games that do not control well. Because, you know, every bootleg handles a little bit differently depending on who made it. There is the typical Sachin type of jump that is generally more of a triangle-shaped jump. If you've played a Sachin game, you know what I'm talking about.
The Russian bootlegs.
Russian bootlegs control differently. Like, play a bootleg from each of the bootleg companies, and that really helps you get a good idea of the variety of control styles that you'll have.
We're definitely gonna see a completion. Derby Ghost is on.
Yeah, with 2 lives as well as all of this health, there is a good chance Derby Ghost is just going to complete this game and secure the victory today. Then we can go ahead and chat with her and see what she thinks of it.
Yeah, so this game's actually made by Asden, and so I was thinking maybe it would be a little bit harder because it's not something that's a more known quantity, but I think it's similar enough to some of the other bootlegs out there, or unlicensed games out there, that you kind of get a sense for it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if I know too much about this company. You say Asder, was that also NTDEC? There was a Taiwanese manufacturer, and supposedly this game, even though it is based off of Chinese folklore, mythology, okay, there's a difference between folklore and mythology. Mythology is something that people believe is true and generally told as like religious stories are considered mythology. So it was made in Taiwan, though, it looks like.
Religious stories are mythology. The Jersey Devil is folklore.
The Jersey Devil is folklore and possibly more of an urban legend, although I think that if people tell stories of the Jersey Devil and nobody believes it, then it would turn into a fairy tale. But if it's told as if it could have happened, then it would be considered an urban legend.
Oh,
and there we go! Derby Ghost is through the game! Somebody take a screenshot of the final screen and post it in Discord. I would love to have this picture, please, if you could.
That is a triumphant Yellow Emperor.
Yeah, let me go ahead and welcome our friend Derby Ghost into chat. And honestly, Digital Basic has a chance of completing as well. This is the final boss.
Yep. Digital Basic. Ooh, I mean, probably.
no lives and only 5 health, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. With no extra lives, Digital Basic may actually go back to the beginning of the game. The speedrun of the game, again, not very long. We could possibly see another completion there. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Derby Ghost in.
Pretty good job of avoiding everything. I think
it's true. Well, we have Derby Ghost here. Hello and congratulations. You beat the game.
Hello. Yeah, I guess I did, huh?
Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. That was a lot of fun to watch. I have to ask, you plowed through this. We have one other player who could possibly beat it right here, depending on how it goes. What are your thoughts about this game? This not bootleg, but unlicensed game, Huang.
I really liked it. It was really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Another clear there.
Oh, damn.
Digital Basic has completed the game. So I'm going to go ahead and let them know. Digital Basic, you have a clear. Yeah, and I will let Kerma know that they may stop playing if they would like. It is up to them because they will be coming in last for our players. But still, you say that you like this game. What do you like about this?
As soon as I realized that you could screwball or screw attack for forever, it was much more fun.
Until you accidentally set off your sub-weapon at the same time?
Yeah, well, listen, sometimes these things have to happen.
Happened to me, like, the whole game.
Okay, actually, could you please tell me, how do you actually activate the sub-weapon? Because every time I thought I had it figured out...
At the same time.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh, Kerma found the combo for the Dragon Boy, but unfortunately dying right there. Not enough health to beat the boss. It looks like activating the sub-weapon is both attack and jump, and that is a little bit difficult to negotiate. Well, we're going to be calling that time. It looks like Kerma has decided that everybody has suffered enough. But, at the same time, I am a big fan of bootlegs. Have you played many bootlegs before?
No, actually, not really.
Really? Okay, do you find... Because I was suggesting to people, here's some strategies for going into a bootleg, play some other bootlegs as experience. But if you haven't played bootlegs, what clicked with you here? What really worked for you?
I'm gonna really cite being a very bored teenager and middle schooler and just going and playing random Flash platformers online. Has the same vibe, I think.
Kinda.
It's jank, I think, and it's that jank experience that kind of pushes through.
Yeah. Okay. I'm letting them know the places just so that it is officially written in there for them to refer to. Oh no, Flannel Cat is saying that you've been hanging out with her too much.
That's probably it, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been infected. I infected her with pinball, and she has infected me with just terrible games. It's fine.
You know what? That's great. That's great. Everybody just infect each other, except not with real diseases, just with the Kuso bug. Okay.
Infect your friends, loved ones. With Kuso.
Everybody mask up. Stay home if you're sick. Please. Please.
Yes, please.
Please. And if you're not sick,
please,
then you can go ahead and infect them with non-diseases, such as video games and pinball. Yeah. Was there anything that seemed like a big challenge for you when you first started the game?
I think there is that one dragon guy sub-boss that I got really worried on because I was really struggling with him for a while. And I feel like after that, all of the mini-bosses got easier. I don't know. Or I was just knowing to knock them into a corner and try to knock them constantly against a wall.
Okay.
You can juggle that dragon.
Dragon is hard.
The dragon mini-boss, you're like a third of the way right from the left-hand side of the screen. Like, literally, you can just punt him into the wall and he bounces right back into it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Honestly, I talked about how much I love this game because first off, it was a lot of fun to watch. Second off, you know, this is something that was made specifically by people who would be consuming it. You know, it wasn't made by an outside company who shipped it. Well, I mean, it was made in Taiwan, it appears, so it was still relatively local. Shipped to essentially people who knew the stories and were able to play it. And, you know, I don't think that this is necessarily a game that would have worked for a Western audience at that time, but considering all of the censorship that was happening, that they were able to put out a bootleg game that dealt with local stories and local history, I personally think it's fantastic. I love that. And
Speaking of local stories and local history, was the second world boss an umbrella? I need to know.
Was it the umbrella or the bamboo guy?
Oh, was a bamboo shoot?
I think it was bamboo, yeah. I mean, I've had to fight bamboo in my life, you know. Justin has a bamboo cane. Trust me, I fought bamboo before. Yeah, when he broke his hip, he was like, I need a good cane. I want a good cane. And he found this bamboo cane and occasionally just still comes up and whops me with it. I hope he's not listening right now. Because if so, he's going to come and bop me a little bit. Just the light tippity-tappities, you know? Well, thank you so much, Derby Ghost. I'm really glad that you got to play this, and congratulations to all the players. Like, everybody did well. It didn't work as well for Kerma, but that is completely fine. You still took third. You got the 5 points, you know, and that is not a bad thing to have. Just got to make sure that you stay in the top 2 for your next match. Derby Ghost, you're going on with a pretty strong lead here, so your next match will hopefully be a little more relaxing.
Yeah, hopefully.
And Derby, do you have anything you've been up to you want to share or talk about your stream or anything like that before you go?
You know what? No, just go play some pinball. There we go. I have nothing.
Pinball!
Your parting words, go play some pinball.
Yeah.
I mean, right. I can't necessarily blame you. Yeah, go to Derby Ghost. I'll play some pinball. Oh my gosh.
Some pinball?
Some pinball.
I used to own a pinball.
Yeah. Derby left. I'm ashamed. I just slaughtered the word pinball.
You did it.
The pinball. Boom, boom, boom. Every once in a while, I just can't pronounce things correctly. That's fine. Pinball, everybody. Jeff, thank you so much. And Corndan, thank you for coming and playing the game and talking about how much you liked it. I really think that this game, despite the jank, is really, really cool.
So much fun. Like, legitimately, it's so much fun. Go, no lie, go play this game because it is blast.
It looks like it's right up my alley. I might have to give it a shot. Okay. Well, I'll see both of you later. Take care, Jeff, and thank you, Corndan.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Well, everybody, we are actually a little bit earlier than I expected, so I'm doing some setup to make sure that we have everything ready for the match. I'm going to go ahead and get... What am I going to do? Get the next game ready. Want to make sure that we have my brain is so dead right now, everybody. This is I got to do a little bit of setup, so we're gonna go ahead, kick back a little bit, just chill, and I will work on doing setup. So about 1 or 2 minutes, and we will be back to introduce the third game of the day.